military might, massive walls, advanced weapons. Throughout history, these have been seen as the ultimate symbols of power and security. But what if everything we assume about strength and survival is completely backwards?
That's such an intriguing perspective. What made you start questioning these traditional symbols of power?
Well, I came across this fascinating historical account of two radically different societies, one built entirely on military might and another that had absolutely no conventional defenses.
You mean they were completely vulnerable to attack?
That's what makes this so interesting. They had no army, no walls, nothing we'd typically associate with security. Their entire protection strategy was based on faith alone.
That seems almost unthinkable in ancient times. How did that work out for them?
Well, initially exactly as you'd expect. The military empire attacked and scattered them across foreign lands. But here's where it gets fascinating. That supposedly invincible empire, it completely vanished from history.
While the scattered people survived? That's quite a reversal.
Exactly. And it challenges everything we think we know about power. You know how we often assume bigger is better? Centralized control is stronger?
Like how we think about modern superpowers or giant corporations.
Precisely. But this account suggests something different, that being scattered actually created a more resilient network. Think of it like the internet versus a single mainframe computer.
Oh, that's an interesting comparison. Distributed systems are often more resilient than centralized ones.
And here's what really struck me. The text says, these scattered people have never been defeated, which seems absurd given that they were literally conquered and dispersed.
So it must be defining defeat and victory differently than we usually do?
Exactly. It's suggesting that true power isn't about controlling territory or winning battles. It's about endurance, about maintaining identity and values across time and space.
That reminds me of how some cultures have survived centuries of persecution while mighty empires crumbled.
And think about modern parallels. How many too-big-to-fail institutions have we seen collapse? Meanwhile, some of the most enduring movements started with small groups of committed people.
You know what's fascinating about this? It's not just about ancient history. It's about fundamentally different approaches to security and survival.
Right. And it raises this crucial question. What are we putting our trust in today? Our technology? Our economic systems? Our military capability?
Those do seem like our modern equivalents of walls and armies, don't they?
And maybe they're just as temporary. The text makes this bold statement that everything else is refuse compared to divine love. It's completely reordering how we think about value and power.
That's quite a challenging perspective in our achievement-oriented culture.
And here's another layer. The text suggests that trying too hard to build up physical security might actually make you more vulnerable. It's like a cosmic irony.
How so? That seems counterintuitive.
Well, think about it. The more you invest in walls and weapons, the more dependent you become on them. You might stop developing other kinds of strength, adaptability, community bonds, resilience.
Like how some species that evolved in protected environments can't survive in the wild.
Exactly. And we see this pattern repeating throughout history. The most seemingly invincible powers often collapse from within, while more adaptable groups survive.
So what's the key to this kind of enduring strength?
The text suggests it's about putting your trust in something beyond temporal power, whether that's faith, values, or principles that transcend immediate circumstances.
That's quite profound. It's not just about religious faith, but about what we ultimately rely on.
And maybe that's the most valuable insight for us today, examining what we're building our security on, whether it's truly reliable in the long run.
You know, what I find most compelling? How this challenges our basic assumptions about strength and vulnerability.
Absolutely. It suggests that what looks like weakness might actually be strength, and what looks like strength might be surprisingly fragile.
That's such a powerful reframing. It really makes you question everything you assume about security and power.
And perhaps that's where we should leave our listeners today, with an invitation to examine their own assumptions about what makes something truly strong and lasting.
That's perfect. Sometimes the most important insights come from questioning what we think we know for certain.
Thank you all for joining us on this deep dive into power, vulnerability, and what it means to be truly secure. Until next time, keep questioning those assumptions about what real strength looks like.